issue, but all should be underway as we hop into this one. PirateseSports, RhynoYoungsters. I mean, it's pretty simple. One team's 2-1, one team's 3-0. It's going to be a tight game. The Portuguese always know how to put on a show for us here at the SCL. As PirateseSports leave it at 2v2. RhynoYoungsters put the bomb down. With Andros finding the 1 HP single in awkward fashion. As we just have a little bit of an awkward bit of a mess there. As PirateseSports put the pistol up on the board. You'll love to see it. As we head into round number 2. This one's going to be a tight match. I can definitely tell you that. We've got some absolute potential guns in here. R4, you know, we've seen how dangerous he can be. Travers, moment you get a decent gun into his hands, as well as Mesky, those two can absolutely pop off. We've seen Andros do it from time to time as well, but it's going to be really interesting to see who exactly takes their shots here. Lots gets an early pick, recently traded by Simple as Weir. Eventually gains mid control, gets an M4 for his troubles and leaves it to a 3v4 towards the Pirate side. The CTs, they've started to make them a name for themselves within the SCL. It's going to be really interesting to see how well this PirateseSports team can turn this presence into potential victories. Mesky spotted, we'll take the fight. Argon takes one of the RhynoYoungsters, and it's all down to crappy JP. You can't do anything about it. He's going to end up going down 2-0. RhynoYoungsters. Yeah, let's put one on the board, however, it's not something that we are too fussed about. Because we have seen RhynoYoungsters ball out on occasions, and I think tonight won't be any different. Of course, we've got a whole lineup of games today, especially some of the SCL favourites, and some of my personal favourites, Molotov GG, as well as SEC. We've got Kekashmek as well coming in later tonight. I think it's definitely going to be interesting as we are forced to the Molotov of crappy JP. And falls early. Joe Quilly takes down R4. Fairly low. Has heard him drop, however. Going for the head, can't find it. 28 points of health as he barely escapes with his life. Throws down a little bit of Aragon. He's got to find at least 2 here. Good for one. Molotov goes down as R4 picks up that kill. Backup gets called. Crappy JP. Leaning towards his B side here. They hear the flashes go out, and you almost see every RhynoYoungsters player draw rotates at PirateseSports. Androx not good enough for one. Lots will get the trade, however, being the first one on the scene. Molotov goes down, prevents the bomb plant. Crappy JP looking to advance, seeing if he can be a little bit of a menace. That nade's going to do so much damage. That nade gets the frag, but the bomb does go down. Crappy JP 1v3 situation, however, smoke fades, can't get a kill. Lots gets the job done. 3 AKs recovered for PirateseSports. As Rhino do enough to just get the bomb plant down. A little bit of cash in hand for them. We're talking about the 4k mark, which they choose to invest in pistols, saving up for that long-term late half buy push that we've seen the Rhinos do a lot. And I think it's economically, it's really smart. But in terms of early game, giving 3 or 4 rounds, is Argon only good for 1 as he continues to push aggressive towards mid. Lots behind him. He's going to hold that angle, holds the line, gets one. Lots looking for a second, does find it. Looking for a third now, joined by Wara. Flash goes out, single taken. Crappy JD by himself. Gets a frag. Flashes himself as Pirates pick up a 4th. But yeah, as I was saying, the economical decisions that the RhynoYoungsters make early on really impact them late half, especially on their second half side. And I think it's a really smart play. We saw Navi do it in the major, this morning for me, where they saved, they played for the late half, and I think it's really interesting to see a team that does that by default, and it may pay off. We're about to see that right now as PirateseSports continuing to hold, continuing to be a bit of a menace towards this RhynoYoungsters team. That nade's going to do some damage. Oh, didn't do as much as I thought it would. That nade will do some damage. A little bit to Travers and Crappy JP. The AWPer for RhynoYoungsters. We've seen him have a couple blinders. So he drops off the angle. Single throws that smoke out. Molotovs come across. It's going to be a B hit here as they take mid and B at the same time. Flashes go out, berating the CTs. Lots finds two. Lots looking for a third, spraying through smokes. R4 gets one. Andros falls. As Mesky only good for one. Travers, he's got to step up in a big way. The AWP are here for the RhynoYoungsters. Smoke fades, he falls. Brutal, brutal, brutal if you're a Rhino fan. But it's definitely something that we want to keep an eye on. Some more B aggression here. RhynoYoungsters looking to get that trade. Andros does fall. Mesky. He's going to be a pesky little kid and gets the frag. R4 looking for frags in the smoke. Good enough for one. Crappy J deletes him off the building. 50 floors down. I haven't seen a downfall that bad since, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a CSGO reference where the team just fell off. Maybe iBuyPower? Lots of Pirates fans in chat. It's good to see hype for a team. These two teams easily have to be maybe some of the most famous teams in the SCL at the minute. The amount of fan bases that these teams acquired is astonishing. As Rhino look to take A, Pirates to defend. Lots with the AWP looking to do as much damage as he can. Looking to aggress the angle as the bomb goes down. No challenge to the plant. RhynoYoungsters looking like they're in a position to actually win it. 3v3, bomb is down, time is ticking. Flashes go out. Helping Single take the peak. Crappy JP. Tapping on the bomb. Lots couldn't find anything as one for all three of the surviving Rhino boys. Secures that round. You love to see it. Andros stuck to the deagle. He's going to want to see if he can find maybe a gun or a pick with it. Travers shitting himself. Don't blame him. Done that before. Don't worry, son. I'm pretty sure most of us here in chat have, especially the frequent Vertigo players. Maybe the Swedes in chat. I know Sweden loves their Vertigo. I've heard, is the rumour. But Rhino, not too big fans of Vertigo. Just one game I have played on Vertigo in the SCL. Had 16-7 losses. Travers, beautiful shot behind the head, looking to find a second. Blocked off by the wall, however. R4 pushes through, berated by bullets, finds the AWPer. Will be taken down, however, by the Molotov. as arrogant. Starting to get a little bit arrogant. As he looks to try and stop the bomb plant. Crappy J falls. Choquin. He's got to find at least one, and he does. It's all down to Lots. 2v1. 3 HP for Choquin. Single. He's going to bait out his teammate here as Lots looks to take the fight. Lots goes down. 2 Rhino boys survive. Recover the AWP. You'll love to see it. For the RhynoYoungsters, they put 2 on the board. PirateseSports, one of the early teams in the SCL at the minute not to drop a map. They're currently 3-0 with a forfeit win. Do want to add that, however, they are looking strong. They're looking like an extremely strong contender ever since they put their foot in the door of the SCL, making it all the way to the cup final of one of the Cash Cups. I think it was Cash Cup, maybe 15 they first entered, and they've been a solid team. They've been an extremely strong team, and a team I know a lot of other teams are looking at and are scared of, purely because they have some absolute ballers. They've got some studs on this team. When we think PirateseSports, we're thinking R4, we're thinking Andros, we're thinking Lots. These are the names, you know, that come to your head when you think about this team. They're not even the most dangerous people. We're talking Aragon whenever he anchors a site. We're talking Weir whenever, you know, he's on a rotate. He's always the first one to rotate and be the first one to take contact. You love to see it with this PirateseSports team, but still, there is just so much when it comes to this PirateseSports team and the way this PirateseSports team has integrated with the SCL that just has them as one of the top teams pretty much as soon as they put their foot in the door. You know, they brought over a massive fan base. They brought over a lot of people that could help with their cause. Is Mesky good for 1? Choquin takes 2. Ends up losing his life. Is a beautiful collat from Travis. Jesus. Beautiful collat. Against the Pistols, they make light work, only losing the 1. Early ramp take coming in from the Rhinos. They're playing fast Counter-Strike that we're used to seeing from Portugal. Vertigo, usually a slow, methodical map when it comes to these teams in the SCL, is now being played extremely quickly. Paragon sprayed through yellow. Single waiting for the push. Doesn't spot the gun. Now he does. That was extremely awkward. Weir loses his life to Single. 4v5 here on the side. Nade goes in, does a bit of damage to Crappy JP. Molly's leaving R4 exposed in the open. Good for 1. Can't find a second. Choker gets the trade. That nade's going to do so much damage, especially on the stack. Bomb. Fake down. 2 on the side. Chokwe. You don't want to play around with this one, son. It's a 4v2 now as Lots gets taken down to 9 points of health. Andros, he's got to be the main guy here if they want to even try retake this site. 4v2. Looks like they're going to go for it. Androx finds Single on the rotate. Picks up an AK for his troubles as Pirate. Look to give up Rhino's 4th round. This one, it's going to be really interesting, and it's getting really interesting really early. I'm excited for this game. I probably should have said that before I started, but I'm excited for this game. Flash Beret hits Pirate Esports. Nades go in, so much damage, so much utility damage done by both sides. Molotov's coming in, pushing back the Pirate boys. Isolating Aragon as he pushes up ramp. As they look to hit this B side, they look to hit it fast. Lots. Only person really able to contest as he gets smoked out of the fight. Gets a nade kill, however Mesky falls. As he looks to be an impressive member. R4 takes 2, looking for a third. As Andros, they haven't cleared him out the back of the site, finds an easy pick, rears his head at the wrong time, takes down single. And with 2 for Androx, 2 for R4, 1 for Lots, the Pirates hold off the Rhino aggression. With Rhino investing into this one effectively immediately. Pardon me, they're looking to at least recover just a little bit of what they lost in that one. Queenie finds one, gives RhynoYoungsters so much space to work with. Flash gets muffed, however they're still going to work with it. Smokes mollies go out as Mesky continues to be a pest on this B lurk. Finds one, has to find the second in the smoke. We have seen how deadly Andros can be when he's not cleared out, and that's proof of it right there. Finds one, shuts down this B entry. All down to Travers, the AWPer for RhynoYoungsters in the 1v3. He's got some work to do. He's going to end up being taken down by the AK-47s of Pirate Esports. AWP recovered as Pirate put up 7. And it's not a good economic state for Pirate at the minute. But it's even worse for Rhino. We might see 2 eco rounds. We might see 2 eco rounds when it comes to the final couple rounds. As Mesky goes down early. Argon finds a second, just leaving the AK to fall, and single does enough. Sorry about that, my phone just started going off for no reason. There we go, we're about to fix that. As you'll love to see it. More ramp presence this time. R4 finds an early pick, looking for a second, does get it, looking for a third. Argon will make it a 2v, well now a 1v5 as Choqueenie by himself on the lurk. He's got a little bit of work to do. Never mind, Weir has other plans as all 5 Pirate Esports boys survive as they pick up 9. Winning this half and winning it quite convincingly. 4 for RhynoYoungsters. Pirate Esports look to put this one to bed early. RhynoYoungsters effectively just being bullied into submission here. The rounds that they have won have come at the cost of Pirate Esports mistakes, which they fixed up the very next round. A single walks into the mid push. R4 gets one elsewhere as he continues his dominance on ramp. Vertigo might not be the map for RhynoYoungsters, and Andros finds 2. Crappy JP takes R4, however will be traded by Lots. Pirates put up 10. As we head into round 15. The first half slowly coming to a close here, PirateseSports. Will they put up 11 or will RhynoYoungsters give themselves a little bit of a boost and put up 5 here? It's a full gun round for both teams. Andros, look at this aggressive positioning. Finds the AWPer, drops off the angle. However, continues to look for more. Mesky takes the fight, ends up going down. Choke went up next. Andros has got 3. Andros looking for a 4th single. Makes him the single victim here. PirateseSports' half as he'll end up going down as well. Crappy JP picks up a 2nd for the Rhinos, picks up a 3rd for the Rhinos. Can't find a 4th. Crappy JP will end up going down. 11-4 half. Good halves everywhere. Beautiful half from Lots. 16-8. Beautiful from R4 and Andros, just shutting down their sites. There's no way you're getting to the A or the B site with those two in the server. Weir hasn't needed to do much. He's sort of just been the guy who goes, you know what, boys, I'll kick back, I'll get a beer, and I'll be okay. I think that's a position that's working fairly well for him at the current minute. However, 7-13 between all of the RhynoYoungsters players. It's a brilliant half. It's a brilliant half. Good halves all around. You love to see it. As we have a bit of an extended break here during halftime. What do we reckon, chat? What do we reckon the scores will be as the fat lady sings as we conclude this map here? What do we reckon? Because I know after this we've got a few teams. We got Molotov, we got SCE, we got Kekashmek later tonight. What do we think, boys? What are we thinking about score lines here? Rhino, they need to win this one here if they want to keep their chances in it. B-side looks to be the name and the aim. Crappy JP with the Renegades pistol. You love to see it. I love a little bit of a Renegades pistol. He's going to be the one who takes contact here first. Smokes go over. He runs for the hills. As PirateseSports play aggressive, protecting everything to let the bomb go down. R4 and Crappy JP right next to each other. However, Crappy JP will take on the fight. End up dropping off as we're going to see RhynoYoungsters PirateseSports 5v5 pistol action. R4 good for 1. R4 looking for a 2nd. Can't find anything. Does good damage though. As we head to a 2v3 late in this retake here, make it a 1v2. Mesky Bora finds an easy shot. All down to code from the new boy in this RhynoYoungsters side. Finds it. Does he have time? No kit. It's going to be close. Yes, he does. Chaquini does enough to get the defuse for the youngsters. Oh, my heart was pounding. Oh, boys. The youngsters do enough. As we've got an R8 in the server at the minute coming in for Aragon. And the question is, does he know how to use it? Chokini challenged once again towards his B side here. So he finds one. Can't find a 2nd, however, will go down. Takes a bit of a seat on the ledge. Mesky continuing to do some damage. They're dealing some good damage. Travis looking to find some cash with the MP9. Finds 2, looking for a 3rd, runs out of boards, but Lots ends up getting Lots maybe too much damage towards the single target as Travis goes down. He's going to be wanting to save up for the AWP here, as the youngsters look to just save the rifles that they have. Not get too aggressive. I think that's the name and the aim. Don't be too aggressive, but also don't be too passive to give Pirates too much room. Single. The single man watching the rotate. There's the tease. Hear him walk off. Util goes down. Androx spotted. Taken down. And Lots falls elsewhere. Mesky puts the dagger in the knife. RhynoEsports 11-6. They're looking to make a comeback here, and they're doing everything right if they want to ensure it. Speaking of doing everything right, if they want to get a win here, they're going to need to. Pardon me, if they want to get the win here, they're going to want to win this round and have at least 3 guns saved. That's at a bare minimum. Nade goes in, it's going to do some damage, and it does enough. R4, sorry. Taken down to 63. As Warrior. He's worse for wear. Coquin traded, leaves a 4v4 at the minute. Lots goes down early. R4 continuing his aggressive push. Single. He's going to be the one to take first contact here. If he's not looking, he's about to get timinged. Drops off the angle. It's a game of cat and mouse here between the Portuguese. As R4 spots Single, takes the shot, leaves him worse for wear. That Molotov's going to go in. Does enough. Single diffuses it. As Chavez finds the early pick. Chavez looking for a second. Can't find it. He's going to get sprayed. 4v2 at the minute. Bomb goes down. Oh yeah, continues to get aggressive with it. R4 staying with the bomb instead of dropping off to hold the angle. Util goes in. R4 loses his life as Weir can't find anything. He's going to go down as 4 live for Rhino. 3 AKs and an AWP recovered for the Portuguese as they put up 7. They're looking to challenge the 11-4 stat line that PirateseSports had. As we start to see some pullaways on the scoreboard. Travis, Cicchini, Mesky. Those 3 have reached double figures recently. You love to see it. From the RhynoYoungsters, the fight, the grit, not rolling over when they've been knocked down. Rhino looking to put a stop to this B-side hit here as Andros on the lurk, only good for 1. Single takes him down. It's a 4v1. Aragon's going to get pushed and Aragon's going to fall. 8-11. RhynoYoungsters decimating this PirateseSports T-half. Pirates fans in chat sweating bullets as we look at the youngsters and the way they're climbing. Molotov goes in, going to do a few ticks to R4s. He calmly gets out the way. Would have been a good way to pull out the fight from him. Didn't know he was there though. Single. He's going to take the fight here, holding the close angle. Good for 1. He's going to drop off See if he can find a second warrior. He's still going to aggress. Crappy JP gets the trade, however. 4v3. PirateseSports looking to continue. A little bit of a ramp presence, however. It does look like B stairs will be the name and the aim of the game for the Pirates, as Coquin puts a stop to it, takes out one, leaves it on a 2v4, calls over, rotates. As Mesky comes across, picks up one. Lots will end up falling to Mesky as well. RhynoYoungsters, comeback of a lifetime for these boys at the minute. No doubts whatsoever from the halftime stat line, which looked fairly ordinary for the Rhinos. As Pirates look to play aggressive, dry but aggressive on this ramp position here, see if they can find at least something in the tank. That molly's going to force down Pirates, keep them out of the sight just a little bit. As it's still a 5v5. We are worse for wears. Andros looks to lurk. Looks to be a bit of a cheeky boy lurking. Travis can't hold the angle well enough. Ends up losing his life along with crappy JP. It's all down to single. He can't get a single frag. As Mesky through the smoke finds one. Continuing to try and find a second. Andros, he's going to find one as well. PirateseSports leaving in a 4v1. Mesky, he's got some work to do, this young lad. Finds two, looking for three, ends up falling. 51 stories to his death of what could have been. As PirateseSports finally stopped the snowball that the RhynoYoungsters pushed down the hill towards them. Ramp taken by Pirates. RhynoYoungsters trying their best to hold on to the momentum that they've got, as Weir falls early. So does the bomb. Single. Traded R4. He's got some work to do at the minute if he wants to give Pirate a chance. Mesky, the near hero or the economical damager from last round, he's got some work to do. Andros, lurking on this B site, draws over two, rotates. As A site, still the plan. Andros, he's popping off, finds a second, he's going to want to find a third. Travis, does he want to put the AWP in the way of danger? Bomb goes down. So do Molotovs. Crappy JP. He's going to hold off and he's going to save. RhynoYoungsters saving in a round where they lose most of the momentum that they've gained over the past few rounds in the half. Shattering. Shattering. pistols for the Rhinos as they look to get aggressive down ramp. Not carelessly though, not throwing their lives away. Using a little bit of util as B looks to be the hit for PirateseSports. 13-9, soon to be 14 if the Pirates can hold on. Nothing goes against plan, however. It is going to be a heavy push here from the youngsters. They've got all the info that it's definitely not a ramp hit. He starts a push from behind. Youngsters take an early life. As Andros finds one, looking for a second, finds three. Andros is 3 enough to help his team. R4 should find the second here, and he does. 14-9. My apologies. As Sharpie wants a timeout. We haven't talked about Sharpie too much today, but this the coach for this RhynoYoungsters team. Coach for this RhynoYoungsters team. He's been interesting. He's been a really good mentor towards this RhynoYoungsters squad. He's helped develop them, and we have seen that growth recently. But there are doubts, especially when it comes to his pause calling abilities. Just one too many P's. That's okay, but Copeland takes down Warra. He's got some work to do if he wants to be this B anchor. I've always said this, but Vertigo B anchor, one of the hardest spots, and if you're going to put someone there, you've got to make sure they do it right. Otherwise, you're better off not having an anchor at all. As Coquin. Picks up a second, leaving a 5v2. Argon lots. They've got some work to do. As A looks to be the hit for them. Still have to deal with Travers and single. Doesn't see single. As lots. Falls, leaves him down to Argon. Argon finds one, giving his position away. Finds Travis. Can't find single, however, as RhynoYoungsters put up 10. As a timeout comes in. As we head back into this one, PirateseSports, can they put this game to bed? As Rhino look to keep themselves alive. Andros drops his gun. He's getting nervous. Slippery fingers come up at the worst times. Don't worry, mate. I understand how you feel. Nade stack goes in deep. Won't hit anybody as the nade stack did fail, but it wouldn't matter. Lots. Spots ahead. Takes the shot. 21 points of health for Choqueenie. He's going to throw some Molotovs. The Molotov's going to be thrown at him. As he's burning. 7 points of health for that young man. More util comes out. Mesky, he's got some work to do. Full blind, Mesky finds one. Trying to find a second. He's going to dance around the smoke. Crappy J finds one through the smoke. R4, the danger man here for Pirates, goes down. JP finds a second for himself. Trying to find a third. He'll end up being tagged down to Oblivion. As Mesky finds one as Travis with the Molotov. Pulls Rhino to 11. Has lots. Stabbed by a teammate to start this one out. R4 has the Invest AK with him. Does have full armor to go with it. That AK falls. RhynoYoungsters looking to make it 12, and they've done everything right if they want to. Travez finds an early one. 3v2 at the minute. Pistols coming up against the RhynoYoungsters. As the RhynoYoungsters put up 12. Mesky looking to do some damage on this fast ramp hit. Single, only good for one. He's going to end up being taken down along with Mesky. 4v3 at the minute on this A site. Pushing through Molotovs. Crappy JP's got some work to do. Goes above the smoke, gets lots. Makes it a 3v3. Lots of damage done by that young man. And so he gets the damage returned to him. Down to 90 points of health. Sprayed through yellow. Bomb isn't down yet. 1 minute 15 left to play. As smokes, keep the RhynoYoungsters towards the site. Bomb goes down, Argon falls, spraying through the smoke in a battle against Coquelin. Travez finds one, Coquelin saves. The RhynoYoungsters finds 2 easy frags. Timeout gets called off. These are the danger rounds here if you're any team. Bear in mind that PirateseSports did have an 11-4 lead at the half. RhynoYoungsters doing everything they can to bring it back. As we head into round 28. Maybe overtime on the cards here. PirateseSports not wanting that. As both teams starting to feel excited. PirateseSports coming into pistols with this one, allowing RhynoYoungsters to get to 14 maybe. R4 found early, crappy JP. Finds an early pick, Mesky traded. This R8 doing so much damage. Blue Smoke might be able to find one. The R8 finds a second. Leaves it to a 3-on-3. Argon with the R8. Trades it for a Eagle, however. Is that the right call? Travez looks to start getting aggressive here. All down to Warra. And he ends up falling. RhynoYoungsters pick up 14. Travers to get the defuse. 14 to 14. We're all back to even. Even Mesky. We've seen him before in the SCL and he's played absolute blinders. As who needs a major, boys? We've got a major game here in the SCL early to start the day off. On what the Friday game dubbed Saturday Cataday. Purely because cats are awesome. We're still have no idea how to pronounce his name, but all I know is he's got an absolute fantastic game. He might need to step up in this situation. Hasn't done too much on the scoreboard, but he's had a lot of impact when it comes to utility usage. But is that enough for the Pirates? Shot from Argon to find Crappy J, continuing to spam. Let's show Queenie. R4 times it perfectly. Shooting as the flash popped. Finds the pick. Leaving it as a 5v3 at the minute. Mesky, Molotov off the angle, chokepoint. Starting to get aggressive. R4 finds him. R4 has done so much here for PirateseSports as the AWP eventually gets rid of him. Argon, we take one each as PirateseSports put up 15 as we head into round 30. 15 to 14, PirateseSports, do they have what it takes to keep RhynoYoungsters out? As that late game economical focus for the youngsters comes into effect, they're able to full buy on rounds where we've seen teams have to only come into this with UMPs, with half sets of util. They come in full util, full guns. It's going to be an absolute cracker of a game. It's going to be a cracker of a round as we head into round 30. One team wanting overtime, one team wanting to avoid it. Weir picks up 2. Makes it a 3v4 as Crappy JP looking to make a play. We're burning. Flash goes out. R4 unaware of Crappy JP. The first time, the second time is 4v2 at the minute as PirateseSports look to put this one to bed 16-14 style. They're at least going to be sweating for it. R4 decides he wants to start being the usual self that we normally see him as. Joe Queenie gets the trade. 1v3 for this young man. He's got a lot of work to do. The young Portuguese superstar comes in. Looking to challenge this B-side here. They'll really find it. Finds Andros. Joe Queenie. Around this generator side. He's got to wait for this Molotov to go down. He's going to feel like an antagonizing few seconds. Utility comes in. He's going to get taken down by Argon as PirateseSports put this one to bed. They were sweating for it.